Hello, and welcome to another Slinging Sunday with Colorado Bushman. Today I'll be continuing the project of my take on the Farcry Primal sling, which if you have not seen the finished one, this is what it looks like. A simple hemp wrapped finger loop with jute cordage all the way down to the pouch, leather pouch, hemp stitching, okay? Then cordage as well, also same as it's still jute, and then the grip knot also wrapped with hemp. If you can see that, also wrapped with hemp. The leather pouch, the outside of it as well as the inside, and the finger loop. Okay, now the one that I already completed is the strands are a little bit smaller than the one that I am doing, but it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't weaken the integrity of the previous one. But where we left off, I was up here reverse wrapping my way down. This is where I'm at now, and I'm ready to split the pouch, and I will go ahead and show you how to do that. So here we have where the reverse wrap ends and where we are ready to start the pouch. Now what I do is I go ahead and grab it right where it's still tight and it doesn't unravel, okay? And then I go ahead and I split that, and I grab the two on the top and I reverse wrap those in their pairing so that they form the sides of the pouch. Okay. Untangling the mess is a little tricky. But what we do is we have the 4 strands and we just begin to reverse wrap those 4 strands to make the length of the pouch. Okay, and reverse wrapping is still just twisting the top pairing or group away from the bottom and then flipping it, and then just repeating the process. We twist away and then we go down. We twist away and we go down. And that is reverse wrapping. You want to try to make sure that you have the same amount of twists in each pairing every time you go down. Otherwise, it'll create the strands a little bit weaker in that section. Okay? Alright, so now that I showed you what we are doing to separate the strands of the pouch, I'll just continue that on the one strand, and then I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll go ahead and continue it on the second strand. And then I'll come back when we are ready to join the two together again. Okay, so we have the reverse wrap portion of the top of the pouch, or bottom of the pouch, however we decide to go with that. So now, and that's only about 6 inches or so. Okay, and that means that we're going to have to do the bottom one the same length, and then I will show you how to, after that I will show you how to keep it from unraveling the rest of the way. Okay, and I'll tell you why we do it this way instead of tying it off and then reverse wrapping the 2 strands and then joining them back again. Okay, so we have the 2 strands reverse wrapped, and as I was going down, the main body of the sling started to unravel, which I'm sure that if you were building along with me, that you probably noticed this as well. So what you're going to go ahead and do is reverse wrap that back all the way up to where you started reverse wrapping the 2 strands. And then what I do is I tie a simple overhand knot. Okay. And that will go all the way down to where the two strands meet. Kind of, and that will go ahead and start to form the pouch. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and check and make sure that we have the right lengths for the pouch, which it looks like one of mine is a little bit long, so we'll just go ahead and take out a few wraps just to make it the same length. Okay? And there we are. And now what we'll do is we will go ahead and start reverse wrapping these two strands that form the two strands back together like we were reverse wrapping the main body again. Okay? Just like so. Taking one over the other, making sure that the ends don't knot up on you. Just make sure that the reverse wrap is nice and tight, and then that forms the pouch. Okay? Probably can't see it that way. That forms the pouch. And what you could do instead of just straight up reverse wrapping is make sure that nothing is twisting on you, and then tie a square knot, which is just two overhand knots. Okay, so you have one overhand knot, and that's right where those two strands end. And then I'll just tie another overhand knot by wrapping one end, or crossing them like this, and then pulling one end through the middle. And then we pull all of that nice and tight. And then we can reverse wrap that until we get a length so that the middle of the pouch, if you hold it, will have the finger knot right here, and so it'll be in line with the loop. Okay? Alright, so I have the main body. Go ahead, I already have it finished up and reverse wrapped, and this is what it looks like right now. We have a pretty decent sized sling. It's not super long. You could make this however long you want, really. Just keeping in mind that you want the finger loop a little bit bigger than what you want, because we will go ahead and wrap that with hemp. And I will show you that in the next episode. But for now, we're just going to finish the weaving portion, or reverse wrapping, okay? And right here where we have it at the end, we're going to go ahead and do a square knot just to make sure that the sling does not unravel. What could also help keeping it from unraveling is whenever you make your first overhand knot, is put a dab of super glue or hot glue there, and then tie it, and then do your second overhand knot, and tie that as well. Okay, now that begins to form the base of the finger loop. Now the size, or not the finger loop, the grip knot. The size of the grip knot is depending on your preference. I like mine a little bit smaller than most people, so I will go ahead and do I don't know what it's called, but I will put my thumb between the main body of the sling and the knot of the square knot, and then the strands. And then I will wrap it around the body of the sling, and then I will put all of those strands through that loop, and then I will pull that tight. I'll show you up close again, just so you can see what I'm
Okay, so we have the
this is the square knot here. If my camera will focus. This is the square knot right here. And this is the main portion of the sling. And then these are the strands. What I do is I put my finger between the square knot and the strands, and then I wrap it around, and then around the body of the sling, and then I put it all back through this loop that is formed. And we have one that is a little bit short, so it doesn't want to go through. And we pull that through. And then we pull everything tight. And then you'll have a couple strands like this one that are a little bit long. And so what you want to do is just go through each individual strand and make sure that they're all nice and snug and tight in there. See, that one, just pulled that in. And then we just keep going through them. And I'll do this 2 or 3 times before actually cutting them off to the length that I want for the tassel. But that is how I make the grip knot. Okay, now that we have the grip knot, what we're going to do is we really want to make sure that everything is tight, because if this unravels, not only will it be hard to put it back into this knot, it will also be kind of unstable if everything just starts unraveling on you. So that's the sling. And then as you can see, I have about this much of possible tassel length. Okay, and you can make the tassel as long or as short as you want, just as long as the grip knot doesn't actually start to unravel on you. Okay, for this one, I want to make it pretty long, probably not that long of one, probably around in here. So we can just go ahead and, once we have everything pulled tight, we can cut it off. If you want to make sure that this grip knot will stay in place, on top of the precaution that I will be doing, you can put a dab of super glue on top of this and then pull everything tight. That will really make sure that everything's locked up. Okay? Well, thank you for watching and have a great day.